Hello, students. I hope you all are fine and you are enjoying your studies and you are also preparing for your examination. Today, I am going to explain you about this unit 4, which is the atmosphere. Okay, and this is the first chapter of this unit. It is the chapter number 11. In this chapter, we are talking about the composition and structure of atmosphere. Basically, you have already studied in the from earlier classes from 6th onwards or from 4th onwards. It is not that much new, only few things are new. So you already had enough knowledge of it, so don't take tension of it. Only read book once. It's my always one request. Before watching this video, you have to make a habit. First of all, you have to read book, then watch this video, and then again read book. Then the most of the concept keep in your mind. You can you no need to learn it. You can understand it. Okay. And the main thing in study you have to understand, not the learning. Okay. Automatically you can learn if you understand. Now, so today I'm going to start this introduction part. So this is the introduction. What is this introduction? Atmosphere. We know that very well. The atmosphere, it means the envelope of the earth, the air which is surrounding on the earth. Different gases are mixed with it, and it is a colorless, tasteless, or odorless. Different types of gases are mixed together and they form a blanket type of part. This is called the atmosphere. From childhood we are talking about it. Okay. First of all, I'm talking about this composition of atmosphere. The composition, we know that very well about this composition. They generally there are different gases. Nitrogen, you know, the 78%, the oxygen which is 21%. These both are 99%. Only 1% gases are other gases are like CO2, argon, krypton, neon, xenon. That these are the different gases. Only 1%, but most of the two gases which are nitrogen 78 and 21% oxygen, and it is not that much exactly. Okay, the oxygen is 20.8 near about. Okay, so it is in rough idea. This is the composition, but basically it is of two. The atmosphere is a composition of two layers: the heterosphere and the homosphere. What is this? There is a particular layer, different layers. So which are in the outer part, they are called the heterosphere, and which are in the lower part, they are called the homosphere. Now let's see the heterosphere, in which we can see these two layers, the thermosphere and the ionosphere. The thermosphere, which is also called the exosphere, these are two layers together. It starts from 80 kilometers to the 10,000 kilometers, it means till the extent. Okay, and then from about 48 kilometers nearly there is a vacuum, it means there is no air. This area it is called the exosphere. And we know that in this exosphere there are two very light gases are there, which are helium and hydrogen, which is very lighter in nature. In the thermal region, the thermosphere, that's why it is called thermosphere. It is also called the ionosphere. Now come on this part. This ionosphere, it is also called the thermosphere. Either we can say that because ionosphere, because due to these ions the temperature is increasing, and because of that the temperature increases, it is, that's why it is called thermosphere, and it extends from 80 to 480 kilometers. 80 to 480 kilometers. And why it is called ionosphere? Because it contains atoms which is acquired electrically charged. How they are doing? Because from the cosmic rays or the gamma rays are coming on these ions, and these ions are ionized. Okay, they are releasing their ions, and because of that they are ionized, and because of this ionization this area is charged, and because of that it is heating. That's why it is called ionosphere or either the thermosphere. The second part, it is called the homosphere. What is that? Homosphere. From the surface of the earth, it starts from the surface of the earth till 80 kilometers, and it is uniform in layer. Okay, these all layers are uniform. The very important layer which is also, it is a part of it, it is the ozone layer, which is called O3. Why? Because there are three atoms are there. It is in between the 19 to 50 kilometers. Okay, the area of ozone layer is also too much high, but it is in the particular area 20 to 30 kilometers. Okay, consists different gases just like nitrogen 78%, oxygen 21%, remaining 1% because in the homosphere these gases are present. Okay, and other argon, krypton, or CO2, what is this percentage, you can see that. Then the major gases which are very important to the life, already we have discussed about this heterosphere and homosphere. Now there are some gases which are very important for the earth, because of that the life is possible. First of all is the nitrogen. The nitrogen is not easily entered, or we can say that it is not mixed with it, the chemically not mixed with it. That's why, or they are not even the nitrogen is not utilized by the plants directly. These are converted into nitrites by the nitrogen fixing bacteria, and then it is utilized. Only few amount of nitrogen is mixed or absorbed by the soil and by used by the plants, but it is very important part for the plants. This nitrogen is very important for the plant, and this oxygen is very important for the animals. It is very highly active gas. It can process very fast with each gas or for each things. That's why it is very highly active, and because of that we can see that example how it is fast, how it is slow. So combustion, in combustion it is very fast, the oxidation is very fast, and it is in weathering the oxidation is very slow. These are the two examples by which we can understand how it is active and how it is slow. Next gas, it is the CO2 gas. It absorbs heat. What is its special thing? It absorbs heat. Because of that the temperature of the earth is maintaining, so it is very important gas. It is also called the greenhouse gas. Radiation lower the atmosphere. Okay, the temperature is also, and very important for the plants because it is help in the photosynthesis. Because of it the plants can survive, they can prepare their food. In the organ it is an inert gas. It is not mainly used, but it is mainly used in commercial and industrial purposes. I think you think that there is nothing to explain. Actually, these all are the common things which you are talking about since 2, 4, 5 years. So that's why it is not too much. With the important points are already written. If you read that much, then it is very enough for you. Now, this is the structure of the atmosphere. But before it, you have to see this diagram. This is the diagram of structure of the earth. Now you can see that the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, it is also called the ionosphere and exosphere. So these all are the different layers of the atmosphere. This is the troposphere. What is its specialty? Its height is from surface to the 18 kilometers. Okay, and its height is also different from, just like this is the earth. So in the equatorial region, the height is very high. As we go from pole region, the height is very low because of the temperature. Okay, so here the maximum height is 18 kilometers. Okay, from the surface to the 18, but here it is maybe the 4 5 kilometers. Okay, so this is that difference. And most of the phenomena, the weather phenomena is happening here: clouding, bursting, raining, what are the things. So these all are that, and the most of the activities are also here. Second one, it is the stratosphere. It is the place for the aeroplanes. The aeroplanes are flying in this zone, but there is no atmospheric uh, no weathering, no weather condition is happening. Only some clouds, just like the cirrus cloud is only available, but no other weather phenomena is happening, and it is from the 18 to 50 kilometers. Next one, it is a mesosphere. This mesosphere is not in your mention in the course, but it is also one layer. So here it is in the middle layer, we can say that, from 50 to 80 kilometers. Next one, it is a thermosphere. It is also called the ionosphere. Why it is called thermo? Because of that temperature is increasing because of this ionization. And the last, which is very large, which is called the exosphere, from 500 kilometers, we can say that 480 kilometers to the extent of this end part. And here the satellites are there. Okay, so this is all about this diagram. I hope you already known about it. There is nothing to explain, but it is reminding. So troposphere, what is the specialty of troposphere? It means it is a region of mixing. It is in the Greek word tropos. It means either mixing or either means turbulence. These are the meaning of it. We know that we are living on the surface, and that's why the troposphere is surrounding us. That's why which is helping for our life. All weather phenomena is occur here, as I explained you. The general height of it is 14 kilometers, but it varies from 8 to 18 kilometers. I already explained, from the equator to the pole. Equator to the pole. Humidity, because the atmosphere consists the hydrosphere, that's why the humidity means what? The water vapor which is present in air, and when it is that condense, then it is forms a cloud or fog. Precipitation, the precipitation means the when this condensation happen, the clouds are formed, so then it will come on the earth again in the form of rain, hail, snow and sleet. So it is also happening in this stratosphere. There are some dust particles which is available here. These dust particles helping in the rain, because what will happen, these dust particles are like that, and the water droplets are attached with it, and because of this attaching, the water drops are formed, or the clouds are formed. Okay, so that's why these dust particles are very important for the rain. Okay, and it also causes the pollution. There is also one important terminology, it is called the lapse rate. What is this lapse rate? As we go from higher, the temperature is decreasing, and the rate of change of this temperature or decreasing of this temperature, it is called the lapse rate. And what is its rate? Its rate, each 1 kilometer 6.4 degrees Celsius decreases. It means what is the change? 6.4 degree decreases after each 1 kilometer. So this rate of change of this temperature, it is called the lapse rate. And how much is its rate? It is 6.4 degrees Celsius per kilometer, which is very important phenomenon of this troposphere. And there is a tropopause after boundary. Just remember, after each layer there is a pause. Pause, it means it is the gap between, or it is the boundary between if each layer. Just like there is a gap between in the stratosphere, here it is a troposphere. Okay, after stratosphere there is a stratopause, and then mesosphere. Then mesosphere there is a mesopause. After then there is another ionosphere. After that there is another pause. So after each layer there is a pause, it means it is a gap, or we can say it is a boundary, it is a border. After that the another layer is starting. It is not exactly like that, but we can say that it is the border line for the changing of another layer. So next one, it is the stratosphere. It is free of water vapor and does no weather conditions is there. It extends from 18 to 80 kilometers. Its height is 18 to 80 kilometers. The temperature does not change too much. Why temperature is not changing too much? Because there is no weather phenomena, and the temperature is decreasing already in the troposphere too much. No weather phenomena, only the cirrus clouds. As I told you, only cirrus clouds are available, and only wind speed is there. Okay, the winds are also blowing here. The contains ozone layer. The main ozone layer is present in this stratosphere from 20 to 30 kilometers, as I told you. And this is also called the ozonosphere. That's why this stratosphere is also called the ozonosphere. And sorry, and it is very helpful for us. I will explain separately it. Next layer, it is the ionosphere. Ionosphere, it is the next layer. It is also called the thermosphere. It extends from 80 to 480 kilometers. These ionizations of molecules and atoms, because of that these atoms are charged, and removal and addition, the removal and addition of electron, due to it, it is electrically, which I already explained you. Then it also help in the long distance radio communication. Yes, most of the radio stations, the satellites are available here, because of that the transmission of the signals from here. Okay, it also helps in this. The next one and the last one, it is the exosphere, which is the outermost boundary of the atmosphere, in which the light gas is there, just like helium and hydrogen. That's why these are the light gas. That's why it is in very above part, but it is still attracted with the atmosphere or the earth. Next one, it is the ozone, which is also called the stratosphere, which I already explained you why it is called stratosphere, because it is the part of the stratosphere. Now how this formation is happening? Now what is happening? Actually oxygen is already present, so due to the lightning, thundering, these molecules of oxygen are splitted, and when these single molecules of oxygen are there, when two molecules are joined, so these two and one molecules combinedly formed a O3, combinedly joined in these O2 plus O, they form O3 because of this lightning and thundering, and due to it this ozone is formed. So this is the formation method of this ozone layer. So made up of with the three atoms of oxygen which is in the upper stratosphere. Breaking of oxygen and combines with a one molecules which I have to explain to you. The importance of the ozone layer you know very well. It absorbs a very important which is the ultraviolet radiation, because this ultraviolet radiation is very harmful for the earth, for anything, either for living things, non-living things, for water, because the intensity of this ultraviolet rays is very high. Protect us from the UV rays which the ozone layer protect us, that's why it is responsible for our life. Okay, then what are the reasons of this ozone depletion and its harmful effect? It is very vital for the human life, as well as causes disease, different causes disease, blindness, the crop damages, reduce immunity nowadays, which is very important, reduce immunities. So this is all about that. Okay, then skin cancer is very common, you heard about this ozone depletion. Destroyed aquatic life, damaged flora, so these are all very general, but what is the reason, what is the reason behind it? The reason is nitrogen oxide, which is from the that supersonic aeroplanes, they are supersonic aeroplanes which releasing nitrogen oxide. There are some synthetic chemicals which is called CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons, which are used in the cleansing agent, refrigerator, fire extinguishers, sprays, car propellant, foams. So they all are releasing and mixed in the atmosphere, and finally they are again, this O2 is splitted into O2 and O. But you thought that, sir, what is the problem? Why? Because there is a problem. Because when this O2 is okay, but when this one O is left, this one O is mixed with Cl, means the chlorine, then it forms a chlorine oxide, which is very harmful. Okay, so when it is the single oxygen is mixed with this chlorine, these pollutants, and then it is very bad impact, and that's why this is also helping in the causing different diseases and different atmospheric conditions. That's why 50% near the pole, north pole and south pole, the 50% ozone level is decreasing, and 30% near the other part. Okay, you have to remember about it. So what we have to do, we can nothing, but the government of different countries are taking part for removing this bad impact. How? In 1990, 53 nations sit together and they banned these all chemicals which are influencing, which are affecting the ozone layer. And worldwide the awareness program is happening, and they are asking for that using a different techniques or using a non-polluting chemicals. Okay, so this is all about that globally they can do. Now you have heard about the global warming, which is very important part. What is this global warming? Global warming, generally nothing, there is a greenhouse effect, but remember the greenhouse effect, it is very important part. Now what is this? This is the earth. Surrounding the earth there are some greenhouse gases. What are these? CO2, methane, nitrous oxide, water vapor. So what is its properties? It absorbs heat, because if this atmosphere is not there, so in the day it becomes very hot and in night it becomes very cold. So what they are doing, surrounding the earth, this atmosphere, in the daytime it absorbs heat, and at the time of night these are releasing heat to the earth, and that's why it maintains the temperature of the earth. This effect, it is called the greenhouse effect. When the balance of the heat which is required for the sustaining life, it is called the greenhouse effect. But what is happening? Due to the very large bad habits of the humans, or due to the pollution, the increased amount of these gases, basically the CO2, the increased amount of CO2 is very high. We know that the CO2 property is the absorbing heat. So when the amount of CO2 is increases, obviously the heat is increases, and due to this heat increases, the atmosphere which is very hotten, and due to it the temperature on the earth is increasing. This effect it is called the global warming. So generally simple, the normal temperature 18 degrees Celsius is already by the greenhouse effect, but when due to this increasing of CO2 and this increasing temperature, this effect it is called the global warming, which is very bad effect on it. And how much it is increasing? 1 degree to 3 degrees Celsius increasing per year. Okay, so it is very badly increasing. Now if this global warming happening, so what are the effect? Now see what are the consequences of global warming. Melting ice caps and glaciers, the glaciers and ice caps which are on the poles, they are continuously melting, and because of that what, the water level is increasing, and the water level increasing, the land part is decreasing. The coral reefs are being affected because they are also sea creatures which are very important part of the life cycle in the ocean, which are impacting 90%. In Indian Ocean the 19% are wiped out. In the Indian Ocean 90% are wiped out. Okay, so you have to understand about it. The regional climate increase global temperature. Okay, the regional climate, the temperature of region in particular region, the temperature is different, and increasing global temperature. Nowadays we are feeling every time hot. Why? Because of the temperature increases day by day. The ecological balance is also disturbed, the rain pattern is changes. So these all are the influence, these all are the effects of this global warming. So we have to take part. How can we take part? We have to reduce the pollution, we can try, we have to plant more trees, so we can help little bit, but we have to try. So thank you so much, you have understand. Again I am requesting you, please read book twice, this chapter before the before the this video lecture and after the video lecture. Then the chapter is become very easy for you, you no need to learn anything. It's my humble request, it's my technique, or I can give this trick. Okay, so I hope I am giving a good luck for your study. Thank you so much. If still you are having any problem, dikkat pareshani duvida sankat trouble, whatever you are, you can write, you can ask comments, I will try to answer it. Thank you so much.